Hey guys, what is up? This is Loosen Up Blockchain. Today we're back with some more Outer Worlds. Last time, we would actually visit Byzantium for the first time and find out something that was pretty disturbing in the world of Halcyon. Basically, what's going to be happening, or what is going to be happening, is that they're going to be using these chemicals, which we're about to steal, to freeze a lot of the population of Halcyon due to a food shortage or just overall shortage they're having. So their solution to this is by freezing everyone, except the most wealthiest and smartest people, which is pretty much going to be everyone that isn't in Byzantium, pretty much, and anyone that's part of a major company, basically. With that being said, I do want to show you guys a couple of things. So remember last episode, how we gave her that grenade launcher? Well, this grenade launcher is right here. You can steal this if you have a high enough sneak level, if you just can't outright buy one. As you can see, I did swap out Yunokyo and Felix, just for the simple fact that even though we did a whole side mission with Felix, we pretty much spent all of Monarch with Yoko, so I decided to give her a little bit of a rest, and I wanted to go ahead and bring along Felix. I actually want to bring along someone else too, who we're going to actually go ahead and get. Before that, I want to go ahead and buy Felix this gift for his friend. I'm sorry, buddy. Sorry what happened with your friend. I'm going to give you a brand spanking new grenade launcher for it. Hopefully, that helps you get over it some. It probably won't. I also already had a grenade launcher because I bought one before I ended the last episode. Anyway, so after I go ahead, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a max. Yes, we're going to take a max. Excuse me. And I'm going to be bringing him along for the journey. He was the character I meant to bring, but I wanted to go ahead and to give Max the grenade launcher first.
Felix, Saltuna is a kind of fish. Lives in the ocean. You knew that, right?
Are you serious? You tell me there's a fish made entirely out of Saltuna?
Oh.
Never mind. I'll tell you later.
I forgot about that dialogue. I forgot. I'm gonna keep that in the video. But alright, so if you guys remember, we passed by this guy last episode. And he actually has a side quest for us that we're gonna do right now. Do I look like I want to explain myself?
Laws, I knew it! You got me. I'm caught, aren't I?
What are you so worried about? No. Yeah, you're in big trouble. Now, why don't you tell me what
I
you
work
did?
in the lab at the Ministry of Accuracy and Morale. Some of my sprats went missing, but it's not my fault, okay? And so what if I occasionally forgot to latch their cage? Everyone gets a little distracted now and then.
Yeah, you're not helping your case there,
They
Bucko.
escaped, and before I could coax them back, they'd made their way to the maintenance tunnels. Even if I did dare go down there, they're among all the common sewer sprats and exterminator mechanicals.
Yeah, I can look for your
Really?
spreads.
In that case,
Yes.
take this collection crate. 6 of my little ones are down there, but don't worry, you can easily tell them apart from common. They have intelligent eyes, an agreeable yet reserved demeanor, and a fondness for hiding. Also, they're white rather than green. Please, do take care, and do mime the exterminator mechanicals. If the worst should happen to my little darlings, well, I still want their bodies. For science, of course.
I'm wondering why you're so attached to these
Therefore,
spreads.
my, research.
Out with it.
Very well. It's true. I do run studies on them at the lab, but I also have a special connection with them. See, I'm an enormous fan of all my colonists. The early seasons, before the plotlines got tacky. You must have seen the classic episodes.
Just tell me what you can do with the
Well,
sprats.
I name all my sprats after my favorite characters. That way, their stories can live on in rodent form. So you see, it's imperative that I get them all back.
Okay,
Not
what's
just
their names?
They all have backstories, too. There's
Okay.
Lord Reginald Kim III, Lady Philippa Farnsworth, Vonda von Vermington, Haroon Greenlee, Iskander Emmanuel Sanchez, and Evelyn Ensley Okoye.
Alright, so I'm going to go through all these options, but I'm not going to let him talk about them. You guys can pause and read the video if you really care that much. I specifically have already sat through this many times before, and I don't want to sit through it again, so...
Ah, she's the chief executive of Farnsworth Incorporated. They're in a rather She's an ambitious shareholder in Farnsworth Incorporated who wants more. It's difficult to tell what So is everyone. Haroon is a mysterious young man with amnesia. Iskander is Lady Philippa's She's a member of Farnsworth Incorporated's regulatory board. A wise... Something else?
Alright, farewell. Alright, so let's go ahead and head on down to the maintenance tunnels. Fun fact, this is one of the missions that I struggled on. in my first playthrough, because my first playthrough, I'm doing the same thing that you see now, is that I already had a quest that was marked for somewhere else. I came and did this playthrough and forgot to actually mark it, so I was down in the sewers looking for the sprites for the longest time, instead of just going to my journal, going to my task, and marking it, so where they actually showed me where they are. So I struggled looking for this one, and I struggled looking for another one. I found the rest of them pretty easily, but there was 2 of them that I had a hard time finding, and the mission took me a lot longer to do. Now I'm going to go ahead and use the prismatic hammer, but I'm going to switch back up to the one-handed weapon, just to show you how much damage you do with Max in the party. I actually want to see it for myself. And this one's going to run around. Actually, no, come on. There we go. Got it. So that one's going to run around. I actually think I originally found that one running around just randomly. As you can see, they look very different from common sewer sprites. Sprites in general look pretty cute, but if we go ahead and use a charge attack on this thing. BAM! BAM! All that damage we're doing. Look at all that damage we're doing. So yeah, we're doing quite a bit of damage to our weapons. Now I can actually go ahead and upgrade my hammer some, and the rest of my weapons. I actually thought I already did, but apparently I have not yet. There is a crafting table over there. I guess we can do that when we get back to it. So one thing about this, though, is that I don't want to actually use the prismatic hammer because I don't want to accidentally kill any of these sprites. So we're going to go ahead and use our one-handed weapon. Pop. Pop. It's not very good against these things, I noticed, but hey, it is what it is. I actually think we can improvise here. Maybe not. I lied, we can't improvise here. I lied, we cannot improvise here. There's actually no sprites here, so we actually use this weapon. Oh, there is a sprite here, my bad. Are you dead? You're not dead, you're fine. Pop. Pop. There we go. Easy peasy, easy peasy. Alright, so we go ahead and loot all this. And there's another sprite over there, you can hear him. Oh, this is wow, I actually forgot about this weapon. This is actually a unique weapon. An ionized paper knife. So one-handed, level 20, does 280 damage, and has a weapon attack speed modifier. I'm actually going to go ahead and we'll equip that because our soft speaker isn't going to really do much for us right now. And it's nice to use some different weapons every once in a while. So let's go ahead and use that. I actually haven't used this one quite yet. Special weapon looks pretty cool, if I do say so myself. But yeah, I actually forgot that was there, so I'm glad I actually came back in here. Right here. Oh, hello. We got a rapid sprite here. And we got a big boy! Too bad I have to kill him. Poor buddy. Oh my god, he's taking a lot of damage, actually. They actually are taking quite a few damage. I'm pretty sure Plaza's actually effective against you.
I was hoping we could bring him home. You'd let me have a giant sprat, right, Captain? As long as I fed it?
I sure would. Yeah, I would. You've seen worse things in the ship. Thank you, Max, for that random word of wisdom. But you can also go back the other way, and you can just go up back to the elevator, but that's the other way. I've got them all.
Truly? Why, this is marvelous!
Yes, sir.
And all safe and sound. Oh, Reginald, Philippa, Wanda, Haroon, Iskander, Evelyn, I'm never letting you out of my sight again. Please, take this. It's not much, but it's the best I can offer for the safe return of my darlings. Now, I've got to get back to the lab before my supervisor logs my absence.
Alright. It gets you a little bit of bits and a lot of bit of XP. And now we can go ahead and finally, after almost 20 minutes of me recording, go into the main quest for today. So yeah.
I have to say, Miss Holcomb, you are surprisingly adept in combative situations.
Why do I suspect you're about to make fun?
You are quite handy with that hammer.
I like to hit things that
Quote-unquote, she about to hit Max, but alright. So, now we can finally go into the main mission of today. I'm gonna probably cut a lot of that other mission out, because it wasn't too interesting, other than that big sprat. Alright, and we're in. Let's go ahead and put our weapons away. So, what we have to do is, I'll see, first of all, let's go ahead and put that back on the main quest. actually already is. Never mind then. I see. The markers are down there. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to go in here. Of course, there's a restricted tag.
Not so fast. The Ministry of Accuracy and Morale is off limits to everyone without X-36 level clearance. Basically, if you don't work here, or for Chairman Rockwell himself, you're not getting in.
Hey, I have the chairman's key card. How's this
you
for
got
clearance?
that. But I still don't know you, and I don't have any new clearances on the list.
Never mind then. If we had a intimidation level of 70, we could have done it. So I wonder if we have anything that's going to level up today. I think bringing Yoko actually would have been beneficial to us. We could go back and get her since she would give us 10. But, whatever. We don't need her. Pretty sure there might be something we can drink as well that's going to help our dialogue skills, but, it's okay. We got this. Alright, let's look around. Open this door? I cannot. Wow, everyone's standing here. It's everyone's on break time. Look at this. I've never seen this many people around. No one's working. No one's in their office. Everyone get back to work. I believe those are just the bathrooms over there. Alright. So everyone has office clerk in their title, but except her.
Sorry, I'm kinda in the middle of something.
You seem like a woman who knows about sprat mitochondria, but I can take this conversation elsewhere if you're busy.
Oh. You know, I always have time for sprat mitochondria, as well as charming men who can appreciate the finer points of cell biology.
How do you feel about mitosis and meiosis, the contours, smooth ectoplasmic reticule? I know that doesn't say reticule. Reticule?
Are we still talking about cell division?
This is
I think so.
certainly a conversation worth continuing elsewhere, but I don't think I've seen you around, and I'm sure I'd remembered you.
I'm new. My paperwork hasn't come through
In
yet.
that case, I can get you into the lab. Consider it a favor you can repay later. Follow me.
Guys. Got to get that ass.
Don't worry, I haven't forgotten you. We'll continue this later.
Ooh, okay. When's later, though? When's later? And I'm not being weird, okay? Alright, guys. Alright, I'm not being weird. Before you go in the comment section, oh, you're being thirsty. No. I know her other dialogue line. She's clearly hinting at throwing ass.
Oh, I need a favor. I think you could let my friend through just this once. After all, you still owe me.
Fine. But I don't want to hear anything about the catch-up packet incident ever again. And he's on his own if he runs into the guards downstairs.
You're the best, Holt.
I bet. So, hey.
Don't
So
worry,
later
I
on,
haven't forgotten you. We'll continue this later.
I'll see you to it. Alright. So now we have to wait a little bit. I'm only watching fast. Bam. Then we're gonna go ahead and also steal this. Alrighty, please don't open that door. Please don't open that door. I think that was a UDL card. I thought there was a UDL card somewhere around here. It's not. Up there it is. Bam. Can't open that. Is there any lockpicking gear we have? I don't think so. Range weapon skills. Oh, there we go. Plus in the picking. There we go. This is from earlier. Would have looked, but it's okay. Probably isn't going to be anything for like a weapon and some bits. And it was just a helmet. How did you see that, Bravado? You're on the other side of the door. I won't question it. Let's go ahead and put our armor back on, though. Alright. Sheath it up. Sheath that, please. I said sheath it. Holding the X button, okay. Alright. So, by doing that, we can go ahead, we can go straight to the elevator. But if you didn't have the dialogue skill for that, which you may not have, what you can do is that you can come through this back section right here. Okay, I actually didn't know about this. So if you come come back here and you use your hack skill, you can use this. And I'm guessing that using this will be able to get you through as well. So that might be another way to get through. But if you come around here, you can open this door. And then if you have a high enough sneaky picklock skill, open this door, open that up. I don't believe there is a UDL card in here. I'm gonna go ahead and look around. There is one in the room that I just went into. We're getting past that. It's going to be not very easy. Steal some ammo there. But you can do that now as well, and you can go ahead and get to the elevator that way. Pretty cool if I do say so myself. So waiting. This elevator. Bets. Alright.
Is one healthy if they are well adjusted to a sick society?
I don't know, Max. I don't know. Alright, so here we are, and since we have the ODL card, I'm gonna sheath in to disguise here. So let's go ahead, make our way to the camera. Let's do it. So first things first, we got a lot of sprats here, but more importantly, we have our boy Gills. Before we go to him, we got all types of shit. They got cows, they got cows. These two separate sales instruments, and there's one big cell. They got a massive cow shit that they haven't cleaned up. They got sprats that they're working on. More importantly, get that central lab. So this man right here, even when your cloak runs out,
What a pleasant
talk to him.
surprise. Thanks to you, Reginald, Philip, and the rest are up to their old games of deception and seduction. But what are you doing here?
I need to expect this
On the other
chemicals.
side of the lab? Why, that requires a top-level clearance. After all, we're running low on the stuff. I really shouldn't be doing this, but you did help me out. Take this key card. It'll get you into the hibernation lab where the remaining dimethyl sulfoxide is. If you're seen by any of the guards, however, I'm afraid I can't help.
Farewell. So doing the side quest and then talking to him gives you a key card. Make sure you shut the doors behind yourself too. Just a little heads up. Alright guys, I'm going to be shutting the door behind myself. Max. Sorry.
I'm going.
Max.
Moving.
Max. Sorry about
Right
that.
there.
Alright, so a little bit closer. Doesn't reset our bar though, so we can still get caught. What we could have done is that we could have gone into the elevator and reset our bar, but this would just not really keep on pushing forward. We can get caught a couple of times, so our dialogue skill is pretty high.
Hey!
Oh,
No visitors allowed, citizen. I'm gonna need to see some identification.
the doctor can vouch for me.
Let me guess. She's still holding the ketchup packet incident over Holt's head, right?
Yes.
We've talked to her before. You can't keep letting her special friends down here.
Hey, I'm extra
Just
special.
get out of here. I don't want to catch you hanging around.
You won't. Max.
Where are we headed?
Nowhere. I think it's the first time we actually interrogate interrogation. Or we had one of those happen successfully. Alright, so going here. Hello, citizen. I sure will, sir. I sure will. But what we can do is that we're going to close this door. We can hack this computer. Hacking this computer. Go into the containment log. What we can do, open containment cells. Disengaging the locks. What that does is it opens all these cells up. And they do. You start attacking them. And as you can see, they are just straight up exploding. Yep. Straight up exploding. Yep. They are hostile to us as well, so we have to still be somewhat careful. Yeah, they kind of do that. End up looks like they saw us. It's alright though, because we can just come right down here. Whoa! They do a lot of damage. This made punch for one time and did half of my health. far he's down. Holy crap, holy crap. Okay. First of all, let's kill this guy. I don't know if these are going to explode when we kill him or not. Yo, these are... Oh, hold on. We might be in some trouble. These guys are tanky. Level 22. Look at all the health they have. They have over 10,000 health. Yeah, this... Okay, okay. Here we go, here we go, here we go. We are going to haul ass. Haul ass, I mean. Back to the enemy. And kind of cornered ourselves, but it's only a few guards. You can take care of them. It's not gonna really kill them. Yeah, see, we're good. Reputation of the board went down a little bit, but hey, we don't care that much, right? No, we don't. Oh, okay, that was, kinda tough. Not gonna lie, kinda tough. Shotgun. So, yeah, that just happened, and I'm kinda lost to where, said our dialogue skill? What? We're in a different use. That didn't really help us out at all, did it? I mean, actually a section that I don't know how we quite got in here. Alright, well, you know what? That helped us out, because now we can use the key card and get into here. And then we can secure and take the stairs. Yes, okay. Yes, yes, yes. Alright. We made it. Here's the chemicals right here for the taking, but we're going to have to go to this computer first. Transfer terminal. View lab notes. Turn the root. See the chemicals. Further instruction. Sudden withdrawal of the chemicals is highly lethal and will result in a cancellation of any in-progress experiment. Test subjects' vitality can be maintained by leaving 73% of the chemicals concealed. Or, oh, I'm sorry. Not concealed, but basically if we leave 73%, 0.629, the subjects will be fine. Now, I will go ahead and we'll transfer 26%. Go into experiment details. But we'll transfer 26%. Now, we're only going to transfer 26% because there's people alive in these containers. Right? But you saw what was happening. You saw all those people that were getting tested on their cells. Sure, these people are alive, they're well, and even if we do get the colony back right, they might not ever be the same again. We might not be able to fix them. And if you see that, they might be suffering, but there's a lot of people here. A lot of people in these tanks. They're all alive. So it's not an easy decision. Not an easy decision. Morally, it's not. And for me, if I was in this game, I'd probably take the 23% and call it a day. But I'm not in this game. I'm only playing a character. We're gonna take 100%. No, I'm just kidding. We'll take 23%. Turn the root. And we can go ahead and at any time we can take 100%. Right now, you can still take it. You can also take one. Sorry. You can also take, 23%. It'd be fine. We can still do it. It can still be done. I'll make a save. And we'll use this one. And nab that. And we can go ahead and retrieve the chemicals and head back to Phineas. Pro tip. So I'm going to show you guys something. If you guys remember, we always come up that elevator every time you come to Byzantium. You have to come up the elevator. Now, of course, we can go ahead and fast travel to back to Unreliable, which was what we're going to do. But once you come back, you have to wait for that really long elevator to come back up and take you up into Byzantium so you can actually walk through it. So what I'm going to show you is that every time you leave Byzantium and you take the elevator, what you can do is you can just go ahead, come down here. Thank you. You can go ahead and just come down here, and like you're going back to the Unreliable. Sorry, I keep stopping because I hear people talking, and it sounds somewhat interesting. But what you can do is you can go ahead and come back here and just hit this. Okay. Never mind then. I thought you could hit that and it would send the elevator back down, but it seems like the game said no. Never mind. Could have sworn that you could have done that, but now I look like a dumbass, and I might cut that out.
Not today, Sam. I am not in the mood for a deep clean. Oh, all right. Some culprit who shall not be named spilled Rizzo's lemon slap on my console. You have a message from Adjutant Sophia Akande.
No one ever looks quite the same in person as they do in my reports. And my reports of you have been exceptionally thorough. You've had quite a career.
Oh, I'm just getting started.
I'm glad to hear that. This may come as a surprise, but I happen to enjoy your work. I've been keeping up with you ever since Emerald Vale. Now that was an interesting piece of work. A rundown backwater, barely worth the ink on a map. Until you showed up. You walked through Edgewater and in your wake transformed it from a loyal company town to a haven for dissidents. I'm actually a little impressed. All this happened because some mysterious stranger fell out of the sky.
I get it. You're well informed. You almost sound like you approve.
Not always. For the longest time, I could never be sure if you were on our side or against us. You should be back on the Hope, frozen in a hibernation chamber. Yet here you are, flying about in a stolen ship, leaving a trail of paperwork in your wake. The board doesn't know what to make of you. But I do. I've seen your potential. There's so much we can do for this colony.
I'm sure you didn't bring me all this way just to flatter me.
You have something I want. I'd like to negotiate.
People need better security. Anyone can lift those chemicals.
I'm not here to talk about stolen chemicals. I'm after something far more valuable. Your cooperation. Phineas Wells is wanted by the board. I want to convince you to turn him in to us.
Wanted for what exactly?
He has a litany of charges against him. Vandalism, illegal experimentation, sedition. I could go on. Wells is a dangerous madman. His plan is going to endanger everyone in Halcyon. He's an obsessive psychopath.
Oh,
and he's
like you're planning to
you.
freeze everyone? Did you see what was happening back there?
I want you to send us a tracing signal from his communication terminal.
You want me to sell him out?
Wells was our mistake. We failed to apprehend him for years. I'm asking you to help me correct that mistake. I'm sending you my access code. Contact me from Wells's terminal. When you're done, come speak to me in my office.
Adjutant Akande's call has been terminated. Will there be...
Let's get out of here. And no, we're not doing that. Not to our boy Phineas.
We've arrived at Phineas's orbital lab.
Alrighty then. Max, how about you take a... No, you can come with us. I was going to tell you to take a seat, but you can come with us. I was going to bring Sam in there, but you can come with us. We actually need to use Sam. We haven't used Sam quite at all since we first got him in that episode. And same as Ellie as well. We haven't used her too much. She was, no, she was in the last episode. Not the last episode, but the episode before that with Monarch. She was in that episode quite a bit. She also has a horse. She's going to have an episode dedicated to her pretty soon upcoming here. But with that being said, you have the communication terminal, but we're not doing that. Why is that a quest? Why is that a quest? Hell no. That's a quest we're gonna have to be failing, because we ain't doing it.
I've kept myself busy in your absence, optimized my formula. I'm now confident I can revive the remaining colonists.
Yeah, about that.
All I need now is the dimethyl sulfoxide. I'll take as much as you can give me.
Yeah, the board was testing them on human subjects.
Human test subjects? Oh, that's grotesque. That's unthinkable. That's exactly what I'd expect out of the board.
Yeah, here's the chemicals, any more, and I would have killed all the subjects.
Damn, that's not enough. Not nearly enough for the whole ship. I could revive a handful of settlers. Maybe, possibly, 10.
It's okay. The colony's on the verge of collapse, and the board's been trying to cover it up.
I've suspected as much for years. Of course, I don't expect the board to do a thing about it. They've been driving our colony to the brink of destruction for decades. The board's mismanagement put our colony on the road to collapse. If we don't put a stop to them, thousands of colonists are going to die.
Oh, it gets worse. Chairman's planning on freezing every worker in Halcyon.
Oh, hold on. Let me see if I understand this correctly. You're saying that Halcyon's on the brink of total collapse, and the chairman's plan to save all of us is to save himself?
Pretty much.
I always knew Halcyon was heading toward a systems collapse, but I never imagined we were already there. The board made this crisis, and now they want to solve it by freezing the rest of us? That's
Yes, sir.
not a plan. That's a goddamn escape clause. Do you realize what this means for the Hope? For your fellow colonists? The board's going to kill them all. Toss them out into space, just to make room in their hibernation chambers.
We need to think about this. There has to be something we can do.
Lining up every member of the board and shooting them in the back of the head. Do you know what's waiting for us on the Hope? Scientists, engineers, artists, the brightest minds Earth ever sent us, uncorrupted by the board. The board's going to dispose of them all
Like me?
and transform the Hope into a prison for the rest of us. They're likely on their way to the Hope as we speak. We need to get to those colonists before the board. I have enough chemicals to start reviving a few of them, but no easy way to get them off the Hope.
I'm open to suggestions. We won't be the smart ass here.
I've got it. We can't possibly take my lab and all my equipment to the Hope, yes? That would be insane, so we do the slightly less insane thing. We bring the Hope to us. Skip the entire ship across the distance of colony space, right next to my lab.
This is crazy, but I like it.
Just wait until you hear the details. I haven't been this energized since the time I injected myself with raw cavanoid. If we link up the Hope to the Unreliable, then use your navigational computer to calculate a reasonably safe vector, we can skip the entire colony ship into the rings of Terra 2.
I don't know much about skip drives, not the physics anyhow. I do know the Hope's real massive. How's our bitty little ship supposed to skip it?
Excellent question, my sharp-witted mechanic. You will use your own ship to power up the Hope's skip drive. Your navigational computer can handle the rest.
And that's going to work, without killing us in the process. I thought intra-system micro-jumps were prohibited for a reason.
Yes, there's always a risk of a catastrophic collision between the Hope and, say, Terra 2, in theory. But you'll be fine, provided your calculations are correct. You'll need to switch on the Hope's auxiliary power using the Unreliable. Then head to the bridge. Your navigational computer, Ada, should be able to activate the Hope's skip drive. Once you've skipped the Hope next to my lab, I'll have easy access to the frozen colonists. I can start reviving them immediately.
Wait, I've got some questions.
Certainly. How can I help?
People aren't going to notice a gigantic colony ship slamming into the rings of Terra 2?
Unlikely. The Hope is as massive as the Groundbreaker, but compared to the rings of Terra 2, positively minuscule. The board might notice, possibly, depending on the position of their heads relative to the depth of their collective posteriors.
Should I expect any
It
resistance?
wouldn't surprise me. When I pulled you out of the Hope, the board nearly intercepted me. I expect they stepped up security since my little act of larceny. Skip drives were never designed to be used within a system, but I skipped my ship across Halcyon when I rescued you, and that turned out fine, mostly. That is, I ruined my ship and nearly killed myself in the process, but the maneuver was well within acceptable margins of risk. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
More questions, I'm ready.
You're wondering why I'm doing all this. Why I believe the people on the Hope are the answer to the colony's problems. The Hope is carrying some of humanity's most brilliant thinkers, scientists, engineers, experts in their field. If we work together, we can still find a way to save Halcyon. The board would have us believe Halcyon is beyond saving. I choose to believe otherwise. If there's even the slightest chance we can save Halcyon from oblivion, then we have to take it.
Yeah, they asked me to plant a tracking signal in your lab, but I'm not gonna do it.
You absolutely should.
You got a plan of some sort?
The adjutant must have sent you some kind of tracking code. If you don't use the code, she'll suspect you betrayed her. I think you should use the code and send a corrupted tracking signal. That should buy me some time.
I get it. He wants to
The
prepare.
board's going to catch up to me sooner or later. This way I'll have time to set up some particularly nasty defenses. Use my communications terminal to corrupt the tracking signal. While the board busies themselves trying to decipher it, I'll have plenty of time to prepare my defenses.
Okay, guess that makes sense.
Certainly. How can I help?
It gives us the level 24. A little bit stronger. I guess wants us to prepare. Send a fake tracking signal. That's what he wants, so that's what we're gonna do. Take some of that. I'm gonna send a corrupted tracking signal. Airs out. As you can see, he gets some errors. Civilians failed protocol. Failed. So,
I won't wish you luck on the Hope. Can't rely on luck. Rigorous calculations and sound logic. That's the ticket. What's on your mind?
right. Next episode, we're going to go to the Hope document. I'll be taking Marty and another character with me. But it's going to happen next time. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Ready to see us skip the Hope into Terra 2. Stay tuned.